Hello and welcome you all once again in this very last episode of this series where we are going to learn how much a solar system costs. This is part of the series where we are learning how to design a solar home system for our own homes. If you're not subscribed to this channel, Solar News and Knowledge, do that because with this channel we are going to keep you up to date about the solar news, what is happening in India and all around the world. But we are also going to come up with many other videos which will be useful to educate yourself, train yourself and increase your skill level in solar domain. So far we have learned everything about the solar system, about the components and learned about the solar system design. But finally the most important aspect is how much does it cost? So today in this episode, I am going to tell you about the costing of the solar system, the subsidies that are available from the government and where to procure this system from. Let us get started. How much a solar system cost is a question many people ask, and it's very difficult to answer because if I ask you how much a sugar cost, there will not be easy way to answer that unless we specify how many kilograms of sugar. Similarly, how much a solar home system cost depends on what is the size of the system, or it depends on what is the size of the various components in the system. Because depending on the need, for the same power capacity, the size of the component can vary for a person to person and for a location to location. Well, there are two types of cost in the solar system. One is a component cost and other we can call it as a non-component cost. Before we go further, I would like to tell that these are only indicative costing and the real costing can vary from the numbers that are shown here. Now let us go to the component cost. This cost are given for the individual procurement. So if you are going to procure in the bulk, costing will vary and it will be lower than these numbers. And this cost also inclusive of taxes. Now various cost component that we have seen in the earlier steps looks like following. The solar panel cost is around 25 to 30 rupees per watt. The battery cost is given in terms of 8 to 10 rupees per watt. The inverter is given in terms of 8 to 10 rupees per watt, and the charge controller cost will be in terms of 3 to 8 rupees per watt. All this price range vary depending on what are the various features. So therefore the range when it is say 8 to 15 rupees, the price range will also depends on the features that particular product is offering or the performance of the product. Now there are non-component costs. For example, the cost of the mounting structure. You need to install modules on the rooftop and therefore you need some structure. So that will be a cost. You need to use wires, that will add to the cost. Somebody has to come and install, that will be the cost. And there may be some small miscellaneous cost component. And this non-component cost is given in terms of the module power rating. So module power rating is given in terms of watt. So this cost is also given in terms of per watt. It varies from 8 to 10 rupees per watt. So let us now consider the estimation of the cost for the DC and AC system. We have already done the design for the following case. We have taken for our home an example of a tube lights, fans, TV, refrigerator, air conditioner of a different power rating for the DC and AC and different usage hours. We assume that this is for the same output. So though the power rating of AC appliance is different than the DC appliance, they are giving the same output. Then only we can compare an apple to apple. Now we have already done the system sizing, and for the case of AC, the appliance's total need per day is 9.1 kilowatt hour of electricity is required per day, and for that when we have done the system sizing, it comes to a requirement of 21.8 kilowatt hour of battery, 2 kilowatt of inverter and 2.9 kilowatt of solar panel. In case of DC appliances, which was given as a homework, if you have not done the homework, this is an example for you how to do the calculation. You can pause this video and check your calculation. But it comes out to be like this. So for case of DC appliances, your per day energy requirement is 5.1 kilowatt hour. And for this we have done the design and it comes that you need a 10.74 kilowatt hour of battery, 1.2 kilowatt of charge controller and 1.6 kilowatt of solar panel. So these are the various comparison. You can see now that for doing the same work, the difference in the AC appliance and DC appliance is significant. In case of AC appliance, your per day energy requirement is 9.1, while in case of DC appliances, it is almost 50% and it is about 5.1 kilowatt hour per day. As a result of that, because your energy requirements are different, your cost is also going to be different. We have seen the design of the AC appliances, and this is the various ratings of the appliances, and this is a typical cost that I have considered here in this case. Depending on what is available to you, you can consider different cost, and when you multiply, for example, the solar panel is 2.95 kilowatt, which is 2950 watt, multiply by the per watt cost, you get the total cost of solar panel. Similar to that, you can consider the calculate the cost including the non-component cost, and this would be the total cost of the solar systems in case of AC appliances. The important thing to note here is the battery is a major component. 58% of the system cost comes from the battery, and if you remove the battery, your cost is only 1,23,000 rupees. Now, how you can remove the battery? You can remove it by making the system as a grid connected system. So when you connect the system then to the grid, then you do not need a battery. But in that case, there are several other complications that comes in, and therefore I would recommend you to visit and see my other video which is on the net metering system. In case of DC appliances, this is the various ratings of the components that we have designed, what is given here, and this is the typical cost that I have considered for the component cost and the non-component cost. And then you can multiply these numbers and you can get the total cost is about 1,47,000 rupees. In this case also the battery is a very significant portion that comes in. Therefore it makes a lot of sense to actually store less energy by using less energy. And the total cost of the DC system without battery comes to 62,000 rupees. Alright, so we can compare this two AC system with the AC appliance and the system with the DC appliance. And in case of AC appliances, total cost comes to 2,97,000 rupees, and in case of DC appliances, it comes to 1,47,000 rupees. So the difference is almost 100%. So DC system cost half of the AC system cost. In case of DC system, because you need a DC appliances, sometimes you need to buy these appliances because normally at home we use AC appliances. So even after including the cost of buying appliances, the DC solar system costs are typically cheaper than the AC solar system cost. So therefore it is advisable to go for AC solar systems. Now many times this kind of domain, there are subsidies available from the government. So how much is the subsidy? Let us look at this. Typically the subsidies are given by the central government, which is in India, this is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Various countries will have different ministries or may not have the specific ministry. Sometimes the state government also contribute to the subsidy, and sometimes the subsidies includes both central government contribution as well as state government contributions. It is very important to note that the subsidies are given based on what is called the benchmark cost of the system. Now the benchmark cost is decided by the government in advance. So what is the benchmark cost for the DC system, AC system is decided by the government. So benchmark cost could be some, let's say 40,000 rupees per kilowatt, and then the government will give you some contribution, some percentage of that 40,000 cost. Also important to note that subsidies are not always available. It varies from year to year, and it also varies from location to location. So there are some special subsidies available in only specific locations. For example, northeastern states always get a special subsidy. Also there are some specific projects which targets specific districts and specific states only. So therefore they are not commonly available everywhere. Also there are targets that government sets itself every year, and subsidies are also determined by the target of the government and the budget allocation by the government. Let us look example in case of April 2020, what is the current subsidy scheme on the off-grid solar system which are not connected to the grid. So in case of off-grid solar system, the major subsidies are available in solar pumps, solar water pumps, up to 7 HP, you can get 60% of the total cost, of which 30% comes from the state government and another 30% from the central government. The remaining 40% cost, there is a provision available that one can take a bank loan. In case of solar power plants, I'm talking about off-grid power plants up to 25 kilowatt, 30% of the total cost is available as a subsidy, but it is available only where the grid is not reached. If the grid is there is no subsidy on the off-grid solar system. Then there is another option, that is the grid connected solar system. In case of grid connected system, there is a subsidy available up to 3 kilowatt, you can get 40% of the total cost, and if your system is 3 to 10 kilowatt, you can get 20% of the total cost. Now this total cost is the benchmark cost, which is determined by the government in advance. Again, I would like to repeat that these subsidies are available only as per the targets of the government, only as per the designated locations of the government, and may not be available to everyone, and it is always available in the limited quantity. Where do you apply for the subsidy? If you really want a subsidy, then you can apply for this in the local DISCOM's office, distributed company, or you can apply in the state nodal agency. In India, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has a state nodal agency in every state. More details about the subsidies available on the Government of India's website mnre.gov.in under this particular link. Now, suggestions. My suggestion for subsidy is that, first of all, subsidies are never easy to get. There are a lot of paperwork and other hindrances which are there. Also, subsidies are not available always, and they are not available for all. And typically the market cost of the solar system is 20 to 30% lower than the benchmark cost set by the government. As a result, many times it is worth going without subsidy, because almost without subsidy you can get the same solar system as you can get with the subsidies available. And therefore I would strongly recommend to not to wait or opt for the subsidies. Solar solutions have become cheap enough that one can directly afford to buy the solar systems. Last point of this is, where do I procure from the solar system? And first of all, I would like to tell that there are many small companies and big companies available or working in the country which are selling either the parts or the components of the solar system or the complete solar system. And India produces solar cells, solar panels, batteries, electronics, appliances, everything that you require to make a solar system is also available from Indian manufacturers. You can buy the solar system from any of the vendors or the companies, but government also actually impanels some of the vendors which are available on the website of the ministry. You can actually look at this website and find out who are the current vendors. I would also like to mention that Energy Swaraj Foundation is what I have formed, which is a not-for-profit organization, and this organization is promoting Energy Swaraj, which means that the energy solutions by locals for locals. We involve local communities to install local solutions at the local area. And different solar components and the complete solar solutions can also be procured from this organization. You can visit the website and you can look at the details of the various solutions that are available.
Well, that is it from my side in this video series where we have learned everything. Make sure you do the homework. Before I sign off, I really want to acknowledge the contribution of many people in making up these videos. Here I was staying during this COVID-19 situation in a very isolated campus called Education Park. A person who are living here has helped me to organize these videos, particularly Omkar. I'm thankful to the Energy Swaraj team members, Swati and Pawan, who have been helping me with the preparation of the slides and uploading of the videos. Thanks all of you for watching this video, and it has been really a nice experience for me. I really enjoyed making this video. I'm sure you would have enjoyed watching this video and learn from it. Stay tuned with this Solar News and Knowledge channel. We are going to bring many more videos and lot of news on the solar energy. So do subscribe to it, like it, share it, so that we can keep growing in usage of solar energy, so that we can make our contribution, we become part of the solution, not a part of the pollution. So as a part of Energy Swaraj Foundation, our mission is to asking people to really take a very bold step and surrender your electricity connection and go 100% on solar energy. This is wonderful way you can contribute for the mother nature, for your own future generation, for your own environment and well-being. So do adapt to solar and let's be part of the solution, not the pollution. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed. I hope all of you are also enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching this video.